The following content is for entertainment and educational purposes only. It does not constitute means for diagnosis, healthcare advice, nor treatment. Make use of a qualified healthcare professional for such purposes.
The t-test analysis is an inferential statistic that we use to analyze differences between two groups, right? That's the two-group comparison. And it's a ratio, right, of the mean differences between the groups over the difference within. An independent t-test is going to analyze a between subjects design. That means different people in the two groups. A dependent t-test analyzes a within subjects, or sometimes it's called paired samples. Sometimes it's called repeated measures. It basically, a dependent is when you have the same people in both groups. So maybe you measure them at time 1 and time 2, something like that. And this is what it will look like in SPSS when you run a t-test, an independent t-test actually. And you can tell it's independent because it says independent sample up there. So if you're shown a table like this, what you actually need to be able to report your t-test in a manuscript, right, is this information right here. Okay, so this is what the whole table looks like. You can see it says T right there. That's your T statistic, 6.196. That goes there. You've got your degrees of freedom. So remember that earlier slide where I had it, I put EF here. So we got the degrees of freedom, and we put it in the parentheses. And then you're always going to report, T, the degrees of freedom, the statistic value, and then you're going to report your p-value, right? And this one is p less than 0.001 because it came out as 0. And we don't usually report p equals 0. Because this actually doesn't mean 0. It just means that the decimal is going way out here really small, so small that SPSS is not going to report it. Okay. And then you're always going to report an effect size. That's your Cohen's d. You can get that from an online calculator. There are multiple Cohen's d calculators online. So this, how to write this, very important. How you construct this reporting of a t-test is something you should commit to memory. Yeah, this is what came out of your data. This is your data being analyzed right here. SPSS, you put all your data into SPSS. You run the t-test on it, which you learn how to do in Stats Lab, and it gives you this. And then this is what it should look like if you're reporting a t-test. Yes. Where do you get the d value? So the d value doesn't come from here. You'd have to get it from the online calculator. Yeah. So you can, I think you can generate a Cohen's d from SPSS, but it's not shown right here. So good research reports will usually include a chart, right, to help people visualize and interpret the data. So here's an example of a bar chart. And like I mentioned earlier, the top of the bar will represent the mean for the group. Everybody in this category of high, the mean was a 4.5. And then the error bars represents the standard error above 1 standard error and then below the mean 1 standard error.